The prison inside your head. Your brain is lying to you right now as you read this. Hidden forces are distorting your thoughts, warping your decisions, and sabotaging your life without you even realizing it. These are psychological mind traps, invisible glitches in human thinking that have ruined relationships, destroyed fortunes, and kept brilliant people stuck for decades. Today we're exposing 15 of the most dangerous ones. Stick around until the end, because trap number 13 is the reason you keep making the same mistakes over and over, and once you see it, you'll never fall for it again. 1. The sunk cost fallacy when you throw good money after bad. The casino's dark spell. A man sits at a blackjack table down to $5,000. Logic says, walk away. But his mind whispers, you've already lost so much. What if the next hand turns it around? He stays. He loses more. This is the sunk cost fallacy. The irrational urge to continue investing in a losing endeavor simply because you've already invested so much. Staying in a dead-end job because I've already spent 10 years here. Holding on to toxic relationships because we've been through so much. Finishing a terrible movie just because you've watched half of it. The hardest choices in life aren't between good and bad, they're between bad and worse when you're already deep in the hole, said by Fyodor Dostoevsky. How to escape? Ask, if I were starting fresh today, would I still choose this? If not, cut your losses. 2. Confirmation bias, the lies we tell ourselves. The conspiracy theorist. A man believes the moon landing was faked. He scrolls through forums, watches documentaries, and collects evidence, ignoring NASA scientists, astronauts, and overwhelming proof. His brain only accepts information that confirms his belief and rejects everything else. Only listening to news that aligns with your political views. Ignoring flaws in a partner because they're perfect for me. A smoker dismissing cancer studies while clinging to that one article saying smoking isn't that bad. The human mind is a fortress with gates that only open inward, said by Carl Jung. How to escape? Seek out opposing viewpoints on purpose. Play devil's advocate with your own beliefs. 3. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Why stupid people think they're smart. The overconfident intern. A new intern at a law firm after 2 weeks on the job starts giving legal advice like a seasoned attorney. Meanwhile, the senior partner, with 30 years of experience, hesitates, knowing the complexities of the law. The Dunning-Kruger effect explains why the least competent people are the most confident, while true experts doubt themselves. Keyboard warriors arguing with scientists about vaccines. Amateur investors thinking they've figured out the stock market. People who've read one self-help book acting like life coaches. Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge, said by Charles Darwin. How to escape? Assume you know less than you think. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. 4. The spotlight effect. Nobody cares as much as you think. The stained shirt. A woman spills coffee on her blouse before a meeting. She's convinced everyone is staring at it, judging her. In reality, most people didn't even notice. The spotlight effect is the illusion that people pay as much attention to your flaws as you do. Overthinking a minor mistake in a presentation. Avoiding social events because everyone will notice my acne. Assuming people remember your embarrassing moments, they don't. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. Said by David Foster Wallace. How to escape? Remind yourself people are too busy thinking about themselves to obsess over you. 5. Analysis paralysis. When thinking too much kills action. The man who couldn't choose. A man spends 3 months researching the best laptop. He compares specs, reads reviews, watches YouTube videos, but never buys one. He's frozen by the fear of making the wrong choice. This is analysis paralysis, overthinking to the point of inaction. Never starting a business because I need to learn more first. Staying single because what if there's someone better? Spending hours on Netflix, unable to pick a movie. Indecision is a decision. Inaction is an action, said by Tony Robbins. How to escape? Set a time limit for decisions. Good enough now is better than perfect never. 6. The gambler's fallacy. When your brain sees patterns that don't exist. The roulette player's delusion. A gambler watches the roulette wheel land on black 5 times in a row. He slams his money on red, convinced it's due to hit. But the wheel has no memory. Each spin is independent, yet his brain demands a pattern where none exists. This is the gambler's fallacy, the belief that past random events affect future probabilities. Thinking a losing streak in trading means a win is coming. Believing that after 3 girls, the next baby must be a boy. Assuming a coin will land on heads because it was tails 5 times before. The universe doesn't keep score. Randomness doesn't owe you a win, said by Richard Dawkins. How to escape? Accept that independent events don't balance out. Probability resets every time. 7. The halo effect, when one trait controls your entire judgment. The handsome CEO who fooled everyone. A startup founder is charismatic, well-dressed, and speaks with confidence. Investors pour millions into his company, ignoring the fact that his business model is flawed. Why? Because his attractiveness and charm cast a halo over everything else. The halo effect is when we let one positive trait, looks, fame, status, blind us to flaws. Assuming attractive people are more trustworthy or competent. Believing a celebrity's opinion on science just because they're famous. Thinking a well-branded product must be high quality, even if it's not. We see what we expect to see, not what's really there, said by William James. How to escape? Judge each trait separately. A great speaker isn't always a great leader. 8. The negativity bias, why bad news sticks like glue. The one insult that haunted him for years. A man receives 99 compliments and 1 criticism at work. He forgets all the praise but replays the insult in his head for months. This is the negativity bias. Our brains are wired to focus on threats and bad news far more than good, remembering failures more vividly than successes. Obsessing over a single negative comment in a sea of praise. News media focusing on disasters over positive stories because fear sells. The mind is Velcro for pain and Teflon for joy, said by Rick Hansen. How to escape? Force yourself to recall positives. Keep a win journal to balance the scales. 9. The anchoring effect, the first number you see controls you. The $500 t-shirt trick. A luxury store displays a $500 t-shirt next to $200 jackets. Suddenly the jackets seem reasonable, but if those same jackets were next to $50 shirts, they'd feel overpriced. This is the anchoring effect. The first piece of information you hear, the anchor, skews all future judgments. Salary negotiations. Whoever says a number first sets the range. Original price? $100, now $50. Was it ever really worth $100? Restaurant menus putting an expensive steak at the top to make everything else seem cheaper. The first number you hear becomes the ruler by which all others are measured, said by Daniel Kahneman. How to escape? Always question the first offer. Reset your mental baseline before deciding. 10. The backfire effect, when facts make beliefs stronger. The climate change debate that backfired. A scientist presents a climate denier with irrefutable evidence. Instead of changing his mind, the denier doubles down on his stance. Why? Because when core beliefs are challenged, the brain defends them harder, even against logic. This is the backfire effect. Proof against your beliefs can actually strengthen them. Political debates where facts only deepen divisions. Flat earthers ignoring satellite photos. A cheating partner dismissing proof because you just don't trust me. The human brain is a reason finder, not a truth seeker, said by Jonathan Haidt. How to escape? Don't attack beliefs head on. Ask open-ended questions that let people rethink on their own. 11. The overjustification effect, how rewards can kill motivation. The artist who lost his passion. A painter loved creating art just for fun until a gallery offered to pay him for his work. At first he was thrilled, but over time he began painting only for money, not joy. Eventually he stopped altogether. This is the overjustification effect, when external rewards, money, praise, replace intrinsic motivation, making you lose interest in what you once loved. Kids who love reading until they're given rewards for it, then stop when rewards disappear. Employees who are passionate about their jobs but become disengaged after focusing only on bonuses. Turning a hobby into a business and then hating it because it feels like work. When money becomes the reason, passion becomes the cost, said by Simon Sinek. How to escape. Keep some activities just for joy. Separate passion projects from monetization. 12. The fundamental attribution error. Blaming people, ignoring situations. The lazy employee who was actually struggling. A manager sees an employee missing deadlines and assumes he's just irresponsible. But the truth, the employee is caring for a sick parent, commuting 3 hours daily and dealing with depression. The fundamental attribution error is our tendency to blame personality for others' mistakes. They're just lazy, stupid, selfish. Blame circumstances for our own. I had no choice. Real-life examples. Assuming a rude waiter is a bad person instead of considering they might be overworked. Judging someone for being late while excusing yourself, when you are. Politicians blaming opponents' character flaws but justifying their own mistakes as necessary. We judge others by their actions but ourselves by our intentions. Said by Stephen Covey. How to escape. Ask, what unseen factors could be influencing this person? Assume ignorance before malice. 13. The availability heuristic. Why vivid memories distort reality. The shark attack that never happened. After watching Jaws, a man refuses to swim in the ocean, even though he's 100x more likely to die in a car crash on the way to the beach. His brain overestimates shark attacks because they're dramatic and memorable, while car crashes feel normal. This is the availability heuristic, judging likelihood based on how easily examples come to mind. Fear of plane crashes after news coverage, even though driving is far deadlier. Overestimating crime rates because crime shows dominate TV. Believing your industry is dying because one big company failed, ignoring thousands of successes. Fear doesn't measure risk, it measures memorability, said by Daniel Kahneman. How to escape. Look at statistics, not stories. Just because something is easy to recall doesn't mean it's common. 14. The false consensus effect, assuming everyone thinks like you. The vegan who couldn't understand meat eaters. A lifelong vegan assumes everyone deep down knows meat is wrong, they just lack willpower. But in reality, most people don't share her beliefs. She's trapped in the false consensus effect, overestimating how much others agree with her. Political extremists shocked when their candidate loses. How could anyone vote for them? Entrepreneurs assuming everyone will love their product when most don't care. Thinking your sense of humor is universal, then bombing at a party. The greatest illusion is that everyone experiences the world the way you do, said by Carl Jung. How to escape. Ask people what they really think, don't assume. Seek out diverse perspectives. 15. The Zeigarnik effect. Why unfinished tasks haunt you. The song's stuck in your head. You hear a song, but it cuts off before the chorus. Your brain can't let go, replaying it on loop until you hear the full version. This is the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks create mental tension, making them harder to forget. Cliffhangers in TV shows. You have to watch the next episode. Obsessing over an unanswered text or unresolved argument. Procrastinators feeling stressed about unfinished work, even when avoiding it. The mind hates open loops. It will chase closure like a predator, said by Bloomer Zeigarnik. How to escape. Write down unfinished tasks to clear mental clutter. Schedule time to complete them or decide to drop them. Will you break free or stay trapped? So, what's the truth? Are these mind traps controlling you without your consent? Can you really rewire your brain, or are you doomed to keep repeating the same mental mistakes forever? Let me know in the comments. Which trap have you fallen for the most? And if you found this eye-opening, smash that like button and subscribe. We dive deep into psychology, success, and the hidden forces shaping your life every week. Want to go deeper? Check out our next video. 5 dangerous biases that make smart people dumb. You won't believe how easily your brain can be fooled. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a mind-blowing reveal. Until next time, stay sharp, question your thoughts, and don't let your own mind trick you.